Hello there. So today I'm back with the Amiga 1200 again. Hasn't left this desk, and the last time I did a video on it, it was really just firing it up for the first time and just having a look around what was there on this preloaded compact flash card. As I mentioned in the comments on the other video, I'd plugged in the floppy drive ribbon cable the wrong way around, so I had a permanent light on here, and I've since learned that I can't run compact flash and the 8 meg fast RAM upgrade at the same time. So I've been moving a jumper to drop it down to 4 meg, transferring stuff across, and it's getting a bit annoying now having to lift the computer up and move the jumper because I keep forgetting stuff I need to put across. So what I've been doing is taking the jumper out, put some wires to the jumper, and I'm going to be fitting it to this on switch here so that I'll be able to just flick between 4 meg and 8 meg when I want to plug this and transfer files. The other thing I've learned is that files need to have icons, and that when I was transferring stuff and not seeing anything on the compact flash card is because I had to do like view all files. And since then, the majority of files I've now added icons to. So let me just get that bigger. So yeah, this compact flash came preloaded with all the stuff. In clicking through games and trying different games, I've learned that I need to throw it in to the dev's Kickstart folder. These aren't particularly well organized, these folders. I need to save the views. And again, I've not actually done anything with these files, so they are invisible. So, you know, learning to show all files, which I don't think I clicked on properly there. That's just me. Show all files. So I've learned that I've had to copy a load of Kickstart files over to this folder in order to play some of the older games, some of the AGA games as well. You've got the 1200, 600, 4000 and 500 Kickstart files in there. Okay. I've thrown most of the games into the games folder here. Smarty and Putty Squad demo, I think, maybe came with it, I can't remember. And I've created my own stuff here, regular and AGA. And I'm not sure if I'm running at the right resolution. I've had a little play around with it, and I've seen videos of people who are running at a much higher resolution. This is going interscaled though into an OSSC. I believe you can do VGA, but I've not actually tried anything like that. So really what I was doing is I was trying to rekindle the kind of the days of the ST, which is what I grew up with. And as mentioned, I've never used an Amiga before, never played on one in my life. And then I got this one, and I have to say, I bloody love it. I think it's amazing. And I'm not sure what the situation was back in the day. When these first came out, was it as polished as this? Probably not. The A500, not really seen one of those in action. But the interface and everything about it is really nice, and I'm assuming that is an evolution. And even when the 1200 came out in 1992, I'm imagining it didn't perhaps look or function like this, because I have, DOS compatibility or FAT compatibility with this compact flash card, so I can plug into my Mac and copy files, transfer it to the Amiga, and as long as I put the icons on, then I can see the files without having to click show all files. So I just went through looking at some of the titles that I remember from the ST and being surprised at things that I never saw for the ST. I remember Armageddon, used to play that multiplayer on the ST, and then Armageddon 2, I'm not sure that ever came out for it. And Bard's Tale as well, which is a game I love on the ST. So I've been firing these things up, just seeing what's different about them on the Amiga. And the majority of the time, it is the sound. Sometimes for better and sometimes for worse. We also have Bard's Tale 2 and 3, which I'm not sure came out for the ST. I kind of stopped with Bard's Tale. And then when I got the PC, I got Bard's Tale 3. But that wasn't even VGA, I think. That was CGA. So what's that, about 16 colours? Looked a bit horrific, never got into it. And then I had BAT, and I don't recall if Bat 2 came out for the ST either. But Bat was fairly unique on the ST because it had an MV16 sound card plugged into the side of the ST, and then you had to plug your audio into that sound card. So the game came with it, and the game was reasonably expensive because it came with that hardware to play the music, because I imagine that the ST couldn't drive the game, the graphics, and the mod music at the same time. And years ago I had an MV16 made. I found a schematic online and had it made, but I've never actually tried it out yet. And one of the things I'm not too sure about with this Amiga and WHD load is that some things seem to run slow. And I'm talking about the music, for example. I think I'm not quite getting stereo here, so let me just check. Yeah, one of the cables isn't in quite right. So, this music is running a bit slow, but when you actually get into the game, it seems to run normal speed. How do I know this? I just know the music so well because I spent so many hours playing this game. Once you get into it though, it just seems to return to normal, so I'm not sure whether there's some kind of artificial slowdown going on. I'm running this on a, what is it, 14 megahertz 68020 as opposed to the originals 7.14 68,000. I can't remember how to start this now because you click on that creation ESP game. Yeah. So when you actually get into the game, it seems to run at the correct speed, at least from what I recall. And I always love the music, you know, sometimes I put the games on and just listen to the music. And this is one of those. Different music, sometimes in different scenes as well. Well, this was a very difficult game, and it's a mad game. I love that about the French. Whatever games the French did, they were absolute batshit crazy, bonkers. And I kind of get a Fifth Element feel. Or obviously Fifth Element came. Fifth Element come after this? I can't remember. But yeah, I love French games. They're just so different. So yeah, this runs at a slightly different speed. Well, now the game is running, it's fine. And I have to remember what key it is to exit, which I just did. Beneath the Steel Sky as well, you know, these are the Scum games that I don't recall that ever coming to the ST. Obviously Cannon Fodder, yes, Blood Witch. It's like a two-player Dungeon Master. But yeah, they're just... I did read about the demise of the ST and how things stopped being developed for it. But I never realised it was... And there we go again, June. I mean, June was an ST game. Sorry, not an ST game. It was a PC game back in the day. And I don't think it ever came out for the ST. And it's one of my favourite games. And June 2 as well. But looking at the Amiga version, I mean, it's just... you know, exactly how I remember the PC. In fact, I think the music may even be better, using mods, I think. And that brings me to something else, really, is that the Amiga seems to rely a lot on mods for playing music, and I'm not really sure I like that, because mods have this distinct lack of quality about them, and especially when you're moving up the scale, it just sounds like a sample is cycling, or a sample is, a sample is sped up, and I've never really liked that sound. And people go on about Paula, you know, the sound chip, but I'm not really sure. I'd love to know what games or demos really show off Paula. I'm not sure what this music is actually. I'm not sure whether this is Paula or not. But I mean, this just looks fantastic from exactly how I remember the PC. And the PC, the one I had on the PC had speech. So I think it was a CD-ROM version, and it would be nice to get that. I'm not sure whether the Amiga 32, is it the CD32, had a version with speech, or whether I could get a version of this with speech. But I am quite limited on disk space on this, so you know, I've got a few gig free, and I can imagine the CD version is going to be maybe hundreds of megs. But yeah, I bloody love this game, and it's amazing to see it on the Amiga. And one of the things that this does is it kind of almost enables me to not get loads of computers out, because this platform covers so many of the things that I really enjoy. What's the escape key on this one? That. So, I can basically play all of the ST games, and I can play a lot of the PC games I used to like as well on this one computer. And it's one of the reasons I've really fallen in love with it as well. I mean, I've gone from an Amiga hater all my life, and I'm 51 years old now, to someone who actually thinks this is a beautiful machine, not just in the look, because I think, as I've said, it's one of the most beautiful looking machines that came out of the home computer revolution from the late 70s all the way up to 92, where things ended and beige boxes became the norm. This is just a beauty of industrial design. And functionality wise as well, once I get my head around some of the nuances of it, I just find it really, really pleasurable to use. Things just work. This WHD load thing that has been created and allows me to load games off disk, and all of the patching and such that people have done to enable that, really is a testament to the community around the Amiga, that I can just come to this now in 2025 and just use it so seamlessly. And with this, it's just a question of popping it in one machine, copying stuff and popping it in another. So yeah, Dune 2 is another one of those games which I loved back in the day, and I first got it on the PC. So to see this on the Amiga and think, well, why didn't the ST get that? Well, yeah, I guess the ST was just unloved by that point. Pretty sure it could have run it. I'm not really sure how quick it would have been. And to be honest, I've not fired it up properly on this yet to see kind of how fast it is. Let's just have a little house Atreides. I always go Atreides. I'm always the good guys. It was really as well the evolution of these games which cemented my love of real-time strategy. The sequel to this, Dune 2000, and then I think Emperor Battle for Dune was one of my favourites, all-time favourites. And then of course the Command & Conquer series, which just cemented it even more. So let's see, it's funny when you kind of go back to the beginnings of RTS, which, this arguably is one of the early RTS games. I'm not going to say it's the first, because I'm sure there was something on the Apple II or something. But when you go back, the interface is so primitive, because in subsequent titles they made things easier. You didn't have to go click move, click, and then click attack, and then it was all done with left right clicks on the mouse and such. And you could group units as well. You could draw a box around and collect multiple units up in a box, and then you could direct them to do things, and you could set waypoints and the like. And I'm being attacked already. So yeah, I'm not really doing very well here because I've not actually started building anything yet. So I've got to tell him to attack that. And I have to click on the construction yard, and you have to build bloody concrete. That's really annoying as well, I remember that. But this was the first, and I remember on the PC hearing for the first time ever digital sound and speech, because I had a Sound Blaster Pro card in my PC. So it sounded absolutely fantastic. And it was that really, and the likes of Ultima Underworld and Ultima Underworld 2, actually. Yeah, I've arrived, the PC. So I guess I missed all of this. The Amiga continued. This came out around the time that I got a PC, I think, 92, maybe 93. And other things on this, which I'm kind of surprised were there. Things like Wing Commander. I mean, Jesus, really? Wing Commander on an Amiga? That just kind of blew my mind, because I understand it came out for the SNES, and that was really strange that, a console gets Wing Commander. I'm not sure if any others did. But the fact that the Amiga got Wing Commander. Cult, one of my favourites from the ST, bonkers French game again. Laser Squad, one of my favourites, one I spent the most time, I think, on the ST playing. So again, it's just a question of firing it up and seeing, well, what's actually different about the Amiga version. And in the Amiga version, I don't recall, sorry, in the ST version, I don't recall the little animation at the start, this one here. I'm not sure the ST had that version. So yeah, you've got this music, intro music, which is different. A bit too upbeat though for the kind of game, and I always used to just play this to death. You know, eventually you get so good at it, I'd play it on the hardest level and I'd just give all my troops knives, and they'd then have to go in and kill someone to get a weapon, you know, a pistol or something like that. So I can't remember how to play this. Okay, give them no armour. So this is the Assassins, which is often a level you can complete just on the first round by giving all your troops rocket launchers, and then you just, I think it's one of the very few levels with destruction of walls and such like. Yeah, because Moon-Based Assault, I think that's very static, so you can blow up stuff inside it, but you can't blow the walls away and such. So this is basically, it looks exactly like the ST version. I'm not seeing any differences in the kind of colour palette or anything like that. But you've got the thunder, you've got the sound effects, the ambient sound and such, which we didn't have on the ST. And then the music comes in. And I have fired it up once before for 5 minutes, just to check things work. So yeah, Sterner Regnitz are in here somewhere. So what I typically do, just for like a quickie, doesn't always work. Come on. This controller's a bit naff, by the way. So you have to load, change weapon, then you can do a quick, fire, snapshot or whatever, and end fire. And I don't think he'll have enough action. He may have enough action points to reload actually. How do you reload? Or maybe he's only got one. Yeah, he's perhaps only got one rocket. He hasn't got an extra one. Okay, so what do we do? End move, yeah. Select Private Harris. Change. So this is why I was led on the Spectrum next when Xeno Brigade came out. And then Xeno Brigade 2 came out, which was even better. Allowed me to scratch that itch of these turn-based strategy games with action points and the like. Let's see what happens here. Good result, but he's not dead yet. Okay, try the other side. So the music is the same melody on the Amiga as the ST board. Yeah. Just sounds a bit more polished, not running on the ST 3-channel beeper. So I'm going to blow the front of this, or the back of this house off now. You watch, it won't work now. Let me see if I can... I can probably load, but I won't have enough, not enough action points to reload that. Okay. Okay, next. Select. I think his position is randomised. Not in field of vision. Oh yeah, okay. How do you come out of fire mode? I can't remember. So I'll aim a bit. Oh, might not get him this time actually. Oh, I can see an enemy. end move. I just want to go and have a look and see what I've seen. Oh, it's a robot there. Yeah, a droid. So what I want to probably try and do is get a rocket. Oh no, because that's just going to go straight through. Yeah, I'm not sure where he might be hiding here. Might just fire behind him. I'm probably best taking out that enemy actually, because he will start shooting me. So aim is 35 action points, I've got 40, so... Can you believe that? What you're really supposed to do is try and aim way behind them, because it increases the accuracy. And I didn't do that. So yeah, I failed to kill Sterner Regniks on the first round, which I usually do. Just had a quick view of them there, I just have to remember where that was. So he saw me and ran away. So I've only got, oh shit. One down. He's got 56 action points as well. Oh, he could have probably taken more out there. So I've got two guys over here with rockets. I'm just going to fire randomly now, I think. Let's get this guy. You can see an enemy. I need to load. Okay. And fire. I'm going to miss him again, I'm sure. Not enough action points. Okay, snapshot. Oh. What the hell? We're gonna die. Maybe I should try and get Sterner, but I can't remember. That is probably going to go through the whole building, isn't it? I don't know how you cancel. Ah, end fire. Okay. Just trying to remember where I saw him. That could have been anywhere, to be honest. It flicked by so quickly and I wasn't really paying attention. Probably in here actually. So, might hit like this wall or something. And who was it who had action points? Is it him? Let's just try and hit this wall. Oh. Oh, does this guy need to load? Yeah. Fingers crossed. Yes! It's very difficult really, that one, if you're the droid squad. Because they can just blow the house away, and where do you hide the big guy? So yeah, that is a game I used to play constantly. So the other thing I've noticed as well is, in addition to Beneath the Steel Sky, we have Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, which was one of my all-time favourite games on the PC. So again, a proper pucker PC game on an Amiga. And I'll keep saying that, I'll keep saying bloody hell. I am so surprised. Going back to Bat, and the slowness of the music at the start, another game I used to like on the ST was Magic Fly. And the ST had the mod music, but it wasn't as long as the Amiga version. And the Amiga version starts playing pretty much straight away, which the ST version didn't. But this runs slow. It sounds slow to me anyway. It is a little bit slow. But I used to listen to this music as well. I just used to fire the game up, wait on the ST, and listen to the music. Because I don't think we didn't get a huge amount of mod music. You know, you had some games with, I'm not sure if Speedball 2, was that just a wave form playing? Or was that mod? Some of the Bitmap brothers, obviously Xenon 2, Speedball 2, Powermonger from Bullfrog, which I've forgotten to copy over here. I'm not sure, but I'm sure on the Amiga it was far more prolific. But yeah, this runs a little bit slow, so I need to work out what do I need to do about that. Or is it just this is the way it is with WHD load? We have Mercenary, of course, Mercenary 2, Damocles, or Damocles. Why do I keep saying Damocles? It's Damocles. Mercenary 3 again, which I didn't think came out for the ST, or did it? Actually, yeah, maybe, I think that one did, yeah, and it ran really slow. Monkey Island 2, I mean, what the hell? And another game I used to love playing was Millennium 2.2. So I really have been going through a lot of the stuff I used to love on the ST and thinking, I don't need to get the ST out anymore because these just work and they're great. What else have we got? I've not taken the whole kind of kit and caboodle of Amiga games because there's so many of them and there's so many I just wouldn't bother playing anyway. What I did was I just had a look at ones I recognised on the ST, and then I also looked at some Google searches for, you know, best 50 games on the Amiga type stuff, and so I pulled a lot of them across. I mean, none of these came out on the ST, did they? I'm pretty sure they didn't. But I'm so happy to see them on this. I think it is possibly now my new favourite computer. Because I had a lot of love for the Archimedes and the A3010. The A3010 being my favourite of that bunch. Which came out the same year as this. A few months before this, I think. But whilst the A3000 or the A3010, it's really powerful, but there are just niggles with it. Niggles with joysticks and the various standards, or lack of standards, that were around the time of its release in '87, the 305 and such, and the A3000 in '89, and then the A3010 in '92, when they finally decided to sort of drop a joystick standard called Acorn joystick, I think. So it was very hit and miss with the games whether it worked on a joystick or not, which was annoying, having to use the keys on some. And you know, the other annoyance is that it's not really set up well for games, I don't think. And there's things that can conflict with games, and there's stuff around memory that you have to kind of reallocate and move sliders around just to get games working. And this for me is just a much simpler solution. Things just seem to work. And this looks really good. And it sounds really good as well. I've not fired this one up yet. I'd have been so happy, you know, back in the day, if I'd had an Amiga. But as I say, I don't know whether the user experience would have been as polished as it is now. Shadow of the Beast I had to get because even though it's an absolutely shit game, people always go on about parallax and the music and such, so you know, I had a little experience of that. I did have Shadow of the Beast, or one of my friends had Shadow of the Beast on the ST. And yeah, not great. Some of the games that I really liked, Silkworm back in the day, and of course Speedball, Starglider 2, which, you know, I didn't used to play the game. Let's disable speed regulation just to see what happens. I didn't used to play the game as such, I just used to fly around because the game was quite complex, flying around different planets, but you had this painting with Rolf thing in there, which, yeah, you know what that one refers to. We had the same music on the ST, this bit here. I think it goes on for about the right amount of time, the same amount of time. But all of the hard disk installable versions I've seen of this game on the ST seem to have cut the music out, which is a real shame because it just adds the polish to the game. Why get rid of it? And I've not been able to find an image file with the music intact. So now I've got only Amiga. Screw the ST. And you know, the beautiful thing is getting these versions which have no copy protection. I mean, that's a beautiful, smooth game, but you're just constantly being shot at, aren't you? It's like, what are you supposed to be doing? Is it? I keep getting confused with Mercenary on this game because I know Mercenary, I think you've got one of them, Damocles. You have to stop some kind of comet or asteroid hitting, but I must admit I can't remember what the purpose of this game is, but it's nice, you know, shaded polygons, and obviously it runs a lot smoother on this machine. And of course you can go into space as well, battle space pirates. But I can't remember how you go about actually kind of going into, what is it, hyperspace or whatever it's called. I'm going so fast now that my lasers don't move particularly quick. So yeah, Starglider, one of those great games. Starglider 2, should I say. Stunt Car Racer, which we used to play on the ST, two STs, no modem cable. Where else? Virus, which is something I wanted to see because this is one of the games that really defines the Archimedes and its ability to move polygons around. So I've not fired this up yet on the 1200. So I just want to kind of see how it compares, because I'm sure on this platform it should be pretty good. It's not bad, but it's slower. It feels slower, and the graphics don't feel as good. The colours don't feel as good. It's pretty smooth though. It's pretty good. I just feel that I'm comparing this to the 3010, by the way, which is probably an unfair comparison because the A1200 running at 12 MHz is a significant monster for 3D stuff, so yeah, I don't think this really has much of a chance, but still pretty good. And I used to be able to play this game. Another one, UFO Enemy Unknown. I mean, I can't remember again whether I had that on the ST or not, you know, so many years have passed. But certainly Wing Commander, that's just blown my mind that I can just play Wing Commander on this. So many other games as well. And I was comparing Xenon 2 on the Amiga compared to the Archimedes, and playing it on the A3010 again. And I do actually prefer the Archimedes version because this version of the game I was playing, the Archimedes supports 8 channels effectively. So where the Amiga has 4, I believe, when it's playing digital samples back. And it can do some kind of tricks, I think, maybe to play 8, but that's mixing stuff. The Archimedes supports 8 channels, which can be panned. Each channel can be panned in stereo as well. So it means something like Xenon 2, you get the music and you get the sound effects. You don't get the music cutting out when you're shooting and things are blowing up. Oh yeah, and Syndicate as well. I mean, just so many things have blown my mind about this computer. I was playing Syndicate the other day. Let's just disable the speed regulation on this. So I was playing Syndicate on this the other day just to have a look and feel. And the only thing about it is it ran quite slow and the resolution wasn't nearly what the PC was. And I can't remember what the PC ran at. Maybe it was 640 by 480. But the PC had a very shallow colour depth. I remember that much. But it gave it a distinctive style. How do I choose? Okay. Gave it a very distinctive style in that kind of lack of colour palette. And that really added to the game. But yeah, this is one of my favourite games as well. If it's going to work, yeah. Begin mission. What do I do? I can't remember what to do. Can I just jump in? Kill someone? Oh no. I can't remember, is that what they've got? No. Oh yeah, okay, they've got a pistol. Been a while since I've really played this. I don't know why I've just bought them 2 shotguns as well. I'll probably find weapons as I'm going. And do you normally get a scanner? Oh, that'll do for now. I'm not going to put any armour or modify them. So yeah, the speed limiter is off. He is moving quite quickly, I must admit. But this looks bloody good. I mean... I think I'm just going to go shoot someone. That's better. So is it this little flashing... Or is that him? So yeah, really impressed with this. I honestly can't remember how you work out who it is you're supposed to be getting rid of. Guess it takes you to the why didn't it stop? Can I not shoot him? Yes, of course I can. Yeah, so, you know, the ability to experience Syndicate again is a great thing. Where is the exit key? Yep, UFO Enemy Unknown, which of course was an extension of Laser Squad, gave you that strategic global planning base building element in addition to the turn-based Laser Squad style combat. So yeah, I also got some AGA stuff, but I've not gone into that in huge depth yet. The only thing I've really done is try to fire some up and realise that I need some Kickstart files, which I've now fulfilled that requirement. I did fire up Tornado, which ran like a dog, which was a game I had on the PC, which didn't run like a dog. But I had a 486 DX50, so that was pretty powerful and could run that game no problem. So yeah, I've not really delved into the AGA stuff much. There's one that doesn't work, TFX, but I can imagine that's not going to work very well anyway because the processor in this ain't going to handle that well. And if Tornado runs like a dog, then TFX is. I think TFX needs 8, and maybe I'm consuming a bit too much memory. But I did fire up Simon the Sorcerer, and that worked, and that, again, I was blown away by the fact that we had Simon the Sorcerer for this. So yeah, I cannot get enough of it. I also downloaded some mod files, as you do. Been listening to music on it, but I don't know what else I should be doing on it apart from playing games. And if there's any games I'm missing. I also downloaded some demos, both... Did I get normal demos and AGA demos? I think I did. And I did have a look at recommendations, you know, what people think are the best demos, basically, and downloaded some of those. I'm not sure whether I got the right ones or not. I mean, I've not been that blown away, to be honest, but we are talking about a very old platform, and my expectations have kind of moved on a bit. So yeah, Simon the Bloody Sorcerer works. It's like unreal. Maybe I just had... Oh yeah, one thing that does happen is I think the loading, when it's loading off the disc, the audio stops and stuff. But this music sounds exactly the same as I remember on the PC, and I had FM synthesis there, you know, with the Sound Blaster Pro. Yeah, so yeah, Simon the Sorcerer. So yeah, in the demo folder. I'm not sure whether this is the demo folder that came with it. It doesn't look like the one I created. Let me just check in data. Okay, yeah, this is my one. Yeah, so the standard kind of non-AGA demos, I guess. Jesus on Ease or something is this one called? Yeah, Jesus on Ease. Just have a look at this one. 2015, is that? Bit of tubular bells going on. I might have to get Bad Apple for this. I'm assuming you can get it on everything else. It's very psychedelic. So I have to wonder what it is people like about this, because this came up a few times, this demo, on people's favourites. And it just looks like something you have to be high to appreciate, which I guess is in the name. They're not trying to disguise anything there. I don't know how you actually quit it now. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, so I've got these regular demos and I've got some AGA demos as well. But again, I'm not really sure which would be considered the creme de la creme. Dark Side. Yeah, so if you know any that are really good, save me clicking around and, you know, pick the best. Let me know what, you know, the best AGA demos are, or the best regular Amiga demos. Assuming this is going to work. Some demos have that big dramatic pause before they start. It was called Dark Side, so maybe it's just a black screen. There's no disk activity or anything going on. Oh! That's the other annoying thing. Resolution changes. The OSSC has to, adapt to the new res and all that kind of stuff. And then, pops up that, and then the screen. If I'm running it running OBS at the moment, so I'm not actually looking at what the monitor's doing, but that tends to flick black as well. It goes black and then decodes the signal or whatever of the new res, so you get those kind of pauses. Yeah. Yeah, so let me know. Let me know what is good. What should I be doing with my resolution? Should I be using VGA? If using VGA, does that just need a different kind of plug in the back? Or do I need specific software to kind of enable that, or to give me the right frequency? Are there any downsides to doing that? Can I still play all the games and the like? Oh yeah, my floppy disk. Another thing I've discovered about the Amiga is the incessant clicking. So I keep a floppy disk in the drive now because it's just click, click, click. So yeah, he stays in there to stop that. So yeah, that is my kind of first week, I guess, in using the Amiga 1200, learning how to copy stuff across. As I mentioned, I'm going to be creating a switched approach to the changing 4 meg, changing between 4 meg and 8 meg on the fast run, so that I can just switch it off, switch, plug it in, blah blah blah. But yeah, appreciating recommendations because I am completely new to this. I would probably like to back up as well this compact flash card. So I'm not sure what format. That'd probably be in some kind of Amiga format, I imagine. Because I don't want to lose all this basically. I want to be able to say take, it would be nice to take another compact flash card and to be able to somehow maybe image from this to this, so I've got a good solid backup. because this was kind of me standing on the shoulders of giants in terms of what I was given on the card was already pre-configured with everything to make this all singing and dancing, so I'd hate to lose that. It'll be really depressing to go back to that initial state of nothingness. So yeah, Amiga 1200, bloody brilliant, love it. It's staying on the desk alongside this little fella here, this friend. So see you later.